Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now we'll talk about diffusion, inshallah, and continue with our studies in chapter 6. Diffusion is a process where a solute is a substance or whatever that's being dissolved and it's diffusing. Solute goes from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. So here you have dye molecules, a droplet of dye molecules over here, and over time they kind of spread out until they reach a certain equilibrium. So a diffusion is a process where a solute goes from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration until it reaches equilibrium and it is equally distributed. Now, I don't know about you, but I found this always kind of fascinating. So how do they know just kind of like go about and be like equally distributed? And it's not like, it's like they have a brain or something like that. I mean, why don't they stop like over here or something, right? Well, so anyway, so diffusion is a process of solute moving from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. So it goes from here and kind of goes over here, right? For example, in this case, there's solid molecules going from here and going this way. This case is interesting because it is a prelude to our study of cells. This introduced a membrane here, a barrier, but this barrier is not strong enough to stop these solutes from moving this way. So this black dots here represent a membrane, one that does not prohibit movement of solute. So anyway, so that's the process of diffusion, going from higher to lower concentration. Now, how does it happen again? How do they know to do this? How come they go about and they spread out until they know they're equally distributed? Okay, the thing is they don't know that they're equally distributed. It's not like they're thinking, all right? So this is what happens. This side is area of higher concentration. Then the molecules or solutes are going to move this way until they're all equally distributed, right? So how do they know to be equally distributed? They don't. What happens is that because this area has so many of these solutes, they bump into each other, okay? So pretend there's a whole bunch of solutes over here, right? They're randomly going to move, right? It's like people in that room, they're going to move and they're going to bump each other, and they're going to bump each other. They move out. They're going to spread out, right? They're going to spread out where? They're going to spread out where there's no bumping, right? So they move from here to here only because there's less probability of bumping into things over here. And when there's equal bumping over here and equal bumping over here, it will appear that they're equally distributed, but they're still moving. It's just the bumping opportunity is the same on both sides. Okay, so diffusion occurs from area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration, simply as a result of this great opportunity of molecules striking each other on one side, if they're wherever they're crowded, and the side that they are not crowded. So if you observe carefully in this picture, again, there are more here. See how much bumping occurs over here. Look, watch this. There's bumping there. There's bumping there. There's bumping there. Right? Compared to on this side, the relatively fewer bumping. Okay, let's watch it again. Just watch what happens. How much bumping goes on over here, okay? Yeah, okay. Let's do it one more time. Okay? Ooh, bumping. On the other hand, now if you focus on this side, I'll go back and forth. See, there's no bumping going on over here. Like, there's no bumping over here. Until they start to come over here, then they start bumping into each other. Okay, so the diffusion occurs from the area of higher concentration or lower concentration. It's a more mathematical phenomenon, probability phenomenon, than it's a chemical phenomenon. It's just a matter of how the probability of bumping into other solutes that allows diffusion to occur. So the diffusion here is going to be from area of higher concentration to area of lower concentration until an equilibrium is reached. Another way of saying that's equal bumping opportunity. Now, if there are two solutes, the yellow here and the purple here, they're going to do the same thing. It's not like they know there's more purple here than on the other side. It's just a matter of probability and bumping into each other, and eventually the probability will be that they will be equally distributed like this. So in cells, and as I said, this is a prelude to our study of cells. In cells, there are membranes. Sometimes membranes prevent diffusion to occur from one side to the other. If they don't prevent diffusion to occur, whatever molecules is introduced to this one side diffuses to the other side until the concentration is same on the other side. Okay, so now that's our study of diffusion. And the next aspect here is actually a very, very important topic, and it's going to take us a little bit of time. I want to do it all by itself, so I'm going to take a brief pause and then we'll begin this topic after that pause. Until then, as-salatu was-salamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum.